is KCAL News, Los Angeles.
Welcome to KCAL News at 11 on CBS Los Angeles and streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. I'm Jamie Yuccas. Happening right now, Senator Alex Padilla is on the ground in the Palisades fire zone as FEMA moves in to clean up properties caught in HOA red tape. KCAL News reporter Amanda Sorrentino is live in the Palisades forest where Senator Padilla just spoke. Amanda, what do you have to say?
Hey, yeah, so he just stepped away from this podium in front of this house right here that you may remember from last week. They just broke ground on this is the first property to start its rebuild here in the Palisades. So this is what we mean when we say we are moving forward in the rebuild process. So Alex Padilla was walking through the streets of Palisades with other local and state leaders here to really see this recovery process. We heard him asking about what barriers that these groups are facing when it comes to the rebuild. And actually, we just asked him about what he thinks about happened with our reservoirs during the fire.
First of all, most people who have seen the images of the fires and the impact in January on television appreciate the intensity of the fires, right? The homes that were burned, the cars that were charred, the businesses that have been lost. What's difficult to appreciate unless you've seen it for yourself is the scale of these fires.
So his biggest point today was our Fix Our Forests Act, and it's all about removing red tape to better protect our communities with fire. So building more substantial fuel breaks to stop the spread of fire, a creation of a centralized center to fight fires with different federal and local agencies. But he also talked about urban areas because that's what we saw with the Palisades fire and the Eaton fire. So he wants to build neighborhoods with more fire-resistant materials and look at the design of homes and neighborhoods to make it more resilient for fire disasters. And he wants to find bipartisan solutions to help prevent and fight fires. So we saw him with CAL FIRE, Cal OES, FEMA discussing these topics today. But a lot is happening with this rebuild process and also happening this morning. I want you to take a look at this other video. This is the first HOA property that is being cleaned up in the debris removal program. So it's very exciting for condos and townhomes that burned down in the fires. This is the first multifamily residential parcel that is being cleaned up by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Originally, you may remember, townhomes and condos were not included in FEMA's debris removal program, which allows homeowners to opt in to have the Army Corps of Engineers do the debris cleanup at no cost to the homeowner. Well, things were finally changed because of a grassroots effort by homeowners and people who lived here who worked together with their local leaders and politicians and Pally Strong to make this happen. We spoke to one of those homeowners today.
There's 25 of us, 8 of us that are still standing, 17 of us, unfortunately, that are not standing. We all want to go home, all 25 of us, 8 of us sooner than the 17, but the 17 can rebuild. We can go home, and we can call our community home again. So that's what's happening. It's an unbelievable day.
It was so great to see that, too. Those homeowners are actually so thrilled, Jamie, that this process is being started, because even the ones that are still standing in that neighborhood, this means that once those are cleaned up, they have the opportunity to start coming home and wait for their neighbors to start that rebuild process so they can come back. And they're saying this is part of the healing process as well. So the Army Corps of Engineers says to start, they have about 30 more HOAs to clean up, and this one should take a couple of days. But back here in this area of Palisades, Alex Padilla and the other team have already left, but they're trying to take those steps as well to make sure everyone is working together to get this done, especially as we face new challenges heading into the summer when it starts getting hot once again. Back to you.
Yeah, it's starting to feel like there is momentum building, which is a good thing. Amanda, thank you. CHP made a major bust involving stolen copper. Assignment manager Mark Lew's at the desk with pictures of what was found. Mark?
Yeah, Jamie, so CHP says this bust started as a simple traffic stop and ended with the seizure of over $5,000 of allegedly stolen copper from a job site. Now, let me show you some pictures that were posted by CHP's West Valley office today. Now, see that white pickup truck in the center of your screen? CHP investigators say all of that in the back is scrap copper taken from a job site in the Pacific Palisades area. Officers say they spotted this truck near PCH and Sunset yesterday afternoon, pulled the driver over for simply having an expired registration. Now, when they asked that driver, hey, what's all this stuff in the bed of your pickup? He told them it's about a half a ton of copper that he was allowed to take from a job site, so he says. He says he was working that job site nearby. Well, something about that driver's story did not add up to the CHP officers at the scene, so they detained that man and called the foreman of the job site, who came here to the traffic stop And the foreman told the officers, no way, this driver was not authorized to take all of this copper. It has a value of over $5,000. And so that driver, a 22-year-old man from Norwalk, was immediately arrested at the scene by CHP for grand theft and booked into the Lost Hills Sheriff's Station. And the copper will be returned to that job site. That's the very latest here from the desk. I'll send it back to you.
Mark, thank you. Our mild weather continues, but I did have a little drizzle on my windshield this morning, and I see it's still pretty cloudy out there. Let's get a check of our next weather forecast with meteorologist Marina Jurica. Marina?
That's right, Jamie. It was a little drizzly for me as well, and we are seeing a lot of low-lying clouds, but also a little bit of blue here and there. So we'll clear things up a little bit today and get some sunshine, especially for our inland and northern locations. And our temperatures will be looking at pretty similar 50s and 60s, just like what we saw yesterday. But look at this. Ventura County only has a few fair weather clouds, so really nice and partly cloudy in Oxnard, heading into portions of Camarillo, and then we're looking at things a little thicker once we get into downtown LA, and then progressing into the Inland Empire and also into Orange County. But you can see how it's circulating, so it's mixing very nicely right now. So I'd say within an hour or two, a lot of us will see a good amount of sunshine before the clouds roll back in again later on this afternoon. So we've got mid to upper 60s, which is well below average for this time of year. And then we're looking at low to mid 70s for the Inland Empire and the high desert. But we are going to track even cooler temperatures and the chance of rain and isolated storms. So I'll let you know where that lands coming up with your full next weather forecast. Jamie?
Marina, thank you. LAUSD and Glendale School District are closed today in honor of a day of remembrance in the Armenian community. Within the hour, SkyCal was over a ceremony being held in Montebello to mark Armenian Genocide Remembrance Day. Flowers were placed at the Armenian Genocide Martyrs Monument. Scholars estimate that 1.5 million Armenians in the Otto Empire were deported or killed over 8 years' time. Let's take a live look inside St. Peter's Basilica this afternoon. The line of mourners waiting to see Pope Francis lying in state is so long, the Vatican has now said it will keep St. Peter's Basilica